So right now, what's your title? Where you're at?
So right now I'm a firefighter trainer. So I'm basically a fire instructor. So I'm teaching their government firefighters how to be firefighters, and then while doing the job with them, kind of somewhat. It's more instruction based, but if something goes down, then yeah, we're there. We're
You're
on.
actually working. Yeah, yeah. You're doing. So if you're putting on you're creating a resume. What's going on? What's that title?
It would be a firefighter EMT slash ARF trainer, so aircraft rescue firefighting trainer.
That's what
So,
that right now. That's what that is.
so I'm like, we're doing basically like a specialty kind of with their helicopters. So within their military, I mean, U.S. Army's here basically training them, and then
Got you.
I'm DoD contractor, so I'm like an independent contractor for uh, Northrop Grumman, the U.S. Army,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Okay. So you're working kind of close with U.S. Military personnel.
sure, yeah, absolutely, and
That's awesome.
Saudi
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome. So I'm just gonna use your intro right there to for that. I mean, that's perfect because I can't repeat that.
yeah,
That's amazing, and we definitely want to get into the fact that later on that for you to make that move because I'm sure that move took a little bit of time in the mind to agree
it,
to say like, bro, I'm going,
it
and
didn't go after I was here.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure, fully committed.
I was
Uh,
actually kind of en route to Puerto Rico, dude. I had accepted. I got a job offer for Fed Fire Fort Buchanan in Puerto Rico, and I was all set because that's just a transfer from where I was at NAFL Centro.
uh-huh.
And I was all set. I was ready to go to Puerto Rico, man. I was ready to go be an island boy for a little bit, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. And now
took
you're
off.
back in the desert.
And the climate is exactly the same. There was no gain there. There was no gain.
No, I know, bro. Because when you like, remember when you posted that picture, I saw like the barns and it looked like, like the storage areas, and I'm like, bro, like this is like this dude, like he was like it was early morning, I think, on your side or afternoon, I don't know, sunset or sunrise, but it looked like the valley, bro. Like it looked like hay barns. I was like, bro, this man went all around the world to go back to the Imperial Valley, bro. It
Exactly. Sometimes.
I'm sure there's some benefits. I'm sure there's some nicer areas than we have here, but the climate wise, yeah, you didn't. Yeah, like you said, no gain on that.
I'm sorry we're drinking
Oh,
wine in front of you, Randy.
I can still get all that here.
Yeah, so that's what I was. Yeah, it was saying I'm gonna ask like, so like, is it dry, or is it, you know? But
But it's dry. It's one of
yeah,
those where don't ask, don't tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
Can't see it from my house type of thing. It's one of those
yeah.
things, like a more like live and let live. No one really. There's almost
So
no
not sitting
real.
out there policing you for it, but
You know what? The only time I like you'll ever even see the police is like for a traffic collision. Like that's
okay.
it. There's a ton of them here because it's like one of the leading causes of death here in the
I
country.
remember you said like the driving there is insane. Is it just speed or what? What?
It's all that. It's everything. So like they haven't been driving for long. They're like still kind of 40 years removed from where we are as a society.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I mean they have everything's there's technology and every car you can think of in the world and et cetera,
Yeah,
et cetera. There hasn't been like a ton of like driving education. So
yeah.
they started allowing women to start driving here last year.
Oh my
Wow.
god! Wow. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, you just put that into context with the U.S. obviously, and that's you see how far behind they are on that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
wow.
Is it
but
like Dubai? People like whipping Raris and
yeah,
Lambos and stuff? And some...
my neighbor, I would if I could take my computer outside, I would. But my neighbor, the guy that parks right next to me, he has a Ferrari, and I have to see it every day.
And
That's wild.
he's a Saudi national. I mean, he's from there.
No, no, no. He, I think he's from Ireland.
Oh, really?
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. I knew an Irish guy, or we know an Irish guy that that works actually here, but he worked there for
Oh,
4 or 5 years.
yeah,
And
only 60% of the country is Saudi. The other 40% is
wow,
all.
that much.
Yeah,
Dang.
and
Have you met a lot of Americans and
there's a ton of
Europeans? Really?
Americans, Europeans. There's people from like all over, like Australia, New Zealand, um, anywhere and everywhere you can think of, all over Asia, South
Really?
Africa, Kenya. Yeah, I've met people from literally everywhere. But so what they do here is they're basically under like a modernization program for the country here because they're trying to kind of turn it into like a tourist spot, but then they want to be able to fend for themselves when it comes to jobs and stuff. Because for the longest time, they just, pay everyone a bunch of money. Hey, you
Exactly. Yeah.
guys can just work.
That's why you have so many foreign people in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Only now it's more of like a training program. So almost everyone in countries here teaching someone else how to do something.
Got you. Got you.
So
Be more like you said, self sufficient and just not have to hire out so much.
Dubai is actually nuts. Only 5% of Dubai is actually the population or nationals. 95%
Wow.
is people from everywhere
That's
else.
insane. And you've been there?
Yes. Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah. So we don't do much business like into like Saudi or UAE or things like that. And I'm like, man, I really would. I think UAE. I would love the experience of getting to go there and see that and experience that. Few guys that I work with did at one point in time, but I guess I just need to press the issue. Like we should go search into UAE, man. We get a little business over there. I'm a
You know
great
what?
talker. Let's go just meet with people.
Is it? I want to say, I mean, I could be wrong. Wasn't when I was the fire inspector for the county, I went out to what's the press out off
Calipat?
15? Yeah, Caliban.
Fondamonte,
Fondamonte, dude.
Hey, isn't one of the owners?
Saudi.
Yeah,
Al
that's
I think
Mirai.
it's Saudi
Al
based.
Mirai is the name of their parent company, which is the largest, milk producer, cheese. They probably have their packaging all over, like all over everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, this is they get sourced like I don't really know. It's the majority, I think, of their hay products for their cows over there comes from Arizona and Imperial Valley.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very interesting. Yeah.
I remember being like, wait, this is going where? You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. That's right. You were here when they were probably building those barns and doing all the construction out there for that stuff, and yeah, a lot of money,
yeah.
into that. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, let's take it back a little bit. Go to like the just a brief, I guess, run through the early childhood. Kind of you're from uh born and raised in El Centro, California, or how does that go?
So I was born in San Diego. Was there until I think 5 years old. No, I'm lying, 6. Um, Brandon was born, and my mom had just got a job down, transferred with Caltrans.
Okay.
So get the Caltrans job. We go down to the valley, and then Brandon's there. We're kind of young and don't really know what we're doing. Went to every elementary school and Wilson Junior High, and then um, you know, sports, baseball, basketball, football, track, whatever we could do, soccer young. We
Yeah.
just like active and we're super competitive. So yeah, we're always into sports. And then in going down to high school, down to Centro, I think that was an experience that, everyone had a great time in high school.
Yeah.
Uh, but didn't really have any direction as far as like what I wanted to do. Part of me wanted to be like a sports writer, part of me
Yeah.
wanted to be a teacher, then go into kines and be a physical therapist. I didn't know what
Sure.
the hell to do with my life.
So high school time you were a baller, right? You did your thing, and as we are kind of jumping through earlier, at one point in time, was your thought like I want to go play college football? I mean, was that in your mind?
100%. Either college football or college baseball. But
Yeah.
I liked baseball a lot more. Like I
Did
loved
you?
baseball. Baseball is my love. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love football. But I happen to be better at football.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes
So
that works that way. Um,
so yeah, things didn't necessarily play out, the way I would have wanted them to. But yeah, 4 or 5 concussions that we know about.
yeah.
And it was
Legit
either
concussions. Like, I mean, you were like, like
crawling
big
sideline.
time. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah, apparently, and it was weird because it was before it was really before they actually had all the concussion protocols. And
Yeah.
this is 2005, or excuse me, to 2003, 2004. So it wasn't really like a thing yet. The movie
Yeah.
Concussion
No,
was
it was
around.
the got his bell rung thing. But I we're talking earlier, man. I still remember that I was coaching, at Imperial at the time, and I remember hearing that, like, that you got another concussion. I want to say against Brawley,
Yeah,
possibly,
yep,
right? Zay,
yeah.
right?
It was Zay. Zay.
Yeah, yeah, and
Like, he called me like the very next day. He was like, "Dude, you had one foot out of bounds. My bad, dude. I couldn't stop. I
yeah, yeah,
was
and I mean,
really
for a
close to
dude like
stop. I
not
was
a
like,
not
I would have done it to you."
yeah, and I mean, obviously we both know Zay, bro. I mean, not like he's just a nice dude. Like, that's not like he doesn't have like that. Like, he's a nice guy. Like, he's
Oh,
play
dude,
that game. But
Zay was at my house. Like he spent the weekends like at my house in El Centro. Like people
yeah,
you like, people in Brawley and people in El Centro, they hated it because we were tight. Like
yeah,
me, Derek, and Zay were kind of always together, and
yeah.
people didn't really like that. Like on the football field, people would say stuff to us. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of it was because you're talking pre-social media days, so really there
Yeah,
wasn't all this cross contamination of like everyone being friends. Like now, we're like they're all homies, like all these like high school kids. Like it doesn't, there's no separation anymore. But like then there was no social media. You weren't
yeah,
like, so to be home like that close with people from a different city, it was a little different in 2003, 2004. You know.
agreed. Agreed.
It's kind of funny because yeah, back then we actually were just we were just talking to we had Will Torres on just recently.
Yep.
Yeah. And we were having the same conversation because like back then, we really just you just hated that other city for the most part. Like when it came to sports,
Yeah,
there's that fine line, bro. Like and they you know, but I had one of my boys play Pop Warner with, and he played for Central. I played against him, and it was like, we're your boys, but that during those 48 minutes, you're gonna
it,
try to smack him, bro.
Yeah.
yeah. It was one of those things. But I feel like playing against like you know someone but someone that is also are bringing kind of like maybe like a different caliber to the table, like in as far as opposition goes in front of you, it brings the
Yeah,
best out. It definitely does.
yeah, exactly,
But yeah,
exactly.
so football ended up not really working out. So went and played baseball. I was young, dumb, and bumped my head around, made some dumb decisions, ended up not staying at school. Um, Moved to San Diego, and I was kind of just working, going to school and working 2 jobs. And I was actually working for the Padres.
Yeah,
I was doing like visual equipment and like guest services type stuff, and like on like a couple times got to do like grounds crew stuff on the field and just little
yeah,
jobs like that. And then cruise down to the firehouse one day. One of my really close friends, he was like, "Hey, you should meet some people." It was his girlfriend's family. Their whole family's all firefighters, and go down and their family barbecue. They're talking about being or me becoming a firefighter possibly. And it's like, I don't want to be a damn fireman. Like, why is everyone throwing this at me? So
yeah,
sure enough, one day I go down there, and uh, it ended up kind of working out that I was able to do like a full on ride along type thing. Yeah, yeah. And then as I'm doing that, uh, that was my roommate. I had to pause real quick.
He's probably like, who's this fool talking to, man?
He's like on his way to work. I'm sorry. Where was that?
No, so you did it right along.
Yeah, so we went down, did the ride along, and it was like the coolest thing ever. But I kind of got a little bit of that vibe and that firehouse feel because it is very paramilitary.
Yeah.
So there's rank and seniority, and it's someone's house. When you walk into someone's house and you don't know anyone, it's a very unnerving feeling. Um, a couple of people were a little standoffish, but I'll never forget Annie Bixler. She was like, "Hey, you want to be a firefighter? This is these things you need to do." So I'm cleaning. I'm not getting paid. I'm volunteering. I'm cleaning and wiping down the engine and doing everything that a probie normally does. And we got a call. Go out to the call, and like my heart was beating through my chest. Like it was, it's so difficult to actually describe the feeling that you get. And that you get that for like the first, month, maybe couple months. Um, and going back to the station, they started doing some training or doing some rappelling, and a gentleman who was a battalion chief. I can't call his name. I don't remember. I'm going to look it up, and I will let you know what his
Figure that
name
thing
is.
out.
Contact him. Hey, this is me now. So no, he walked up as a battalion chief, and he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Sir, my name is Randall Andrews. I'm a volunteer." And he was like, "Oh, so you're a wannabe?" And I just looked at him, and I was like, "No, I'm going to be." He goes, "No, right now you're a wannabe." And that kind of was the drive and the motivation behind like every interview I've had. Um, my push, not necessarily the drive and motivation, but that was the switch. Like that was the switch. That was the foundation and the roots because it was a challenge. It was competition. I took it like someone challenged me to play one on one and like what I'm saying, like down the street at the high school or something. I kind of feel
Yeah.
like it's the stops that no one ever wants to like really discuss, but that's what makes us who we are. It's not necessarily your ups. It's how you overcome all of your obstacles. It has
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone that has never failed. It's hard to say that they've succeeded.
That, exactly, man. And so that's a perfect point right there. We jump in back into where we were with this. So you met that battalion commander, right?
Yeah.
And he put that little bit of that chip on that shoulder, right? He kind of like, hey, well, hold on. No. So let's jump back into there. So that led to where are we going?
So that actually led to me, applying for an academy spot at IBC.
Okay.
Because I was like, if I'm going to be in the academy, I'm not going to be able to afford to live in San Diego.
Sure.
I got to go back home. So I
How
moved
old were
back
you right now at that point in time?
23, I think.
Okay.
23. No, 22. Yeah,
Okay.
22. So I moved back, went through the academy. I was working at Lowe's in the morning from like 3 a.m. to about, I think, noon, like
Yeah.
unloading stuff.
Right there.
Yeah, man. And then still at the same time, I'd have to go to the fire academy after. And it was just like a grind, a year of just straight grind. But I was so focused. Like I was so tired of not making the right decision or not following through with something that there was no way I wasn't going to see it all the way through. I ended
Yeah.
up becoming the academy chief, graduated at within the top of my class, and got hired during my academy with Imperial County Fire Department. Got an offer from Chief Rahotis, who is Michael Jordan to me, for as far as fire goes.
Yeah.
That's my Michael Jordan. And
Were you working as an EMT prior to that?
no, I had just got my EMT certification.
Okay.
That's basically that's gold in the fire service. It's
Yeah.
name is like, are you 18 and a U.S. citizen? It's basically the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
You also have your EMT in order to even apply. No
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
time.
Okay. So now I remember I was probably my first year at El Toro where I work, and you guy had a seizure at our office, and you rolled through there, and I remember seeing, because I was like I was 25, so you had to have been like said 23 or something around there. And I remember seeing you in there. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know this dude was doing, like, it's kind of obviously a very like interesting situation to be like, oh hey, I know that guy, like, but but it was interesting. So at that time, so when that happened, I'm assuming you were still in the academy then.
I think I was in the academy then. Yeah,
Okay.
because I was my ride along time for the ambulance time.
Got you.
But
Got you.
yeah, I was a reserve firefighter for Imperial County for like 2.5 years, and then I became the fire inspector. I did that for a while, and then went out to NAFL Centro, took a Fed Fire job, and
Yeah.
was there for 2 years. Great bunch of guys at both locations. The fire community in the valley is awesome. Like everyone is great. Everyone gets along. Everyone's great.
Yeah.
From there, I had kind of just started looking out. My resume was getting a little stronger, and I was wanting a little bit more, kind of more of a challenge, something different, but still within fire. So I was
Yeah.
just looking to maybe get out and go to a different city, a different place.
You're looking to get out of the valley and move, kind of get a different environment.
Exactly. So what I did was I went on USA Jobs, which is kind of how, like, our government portal that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'm shooting through it, and I'm just submitting apps at any and everywhere, right? I get a call
Yeah.
a week later from Alaska, the fire chief out there. He's like, "Hey, you want to come out to Alaska?" I was like, "Oh, I appreciate the phone call, but I'm not coming." This was kind of just a feel.
So you sent one in, but we're like, nah, I'm just chilling.
I was just kind of like shopping my resume to see what it could do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
For sure.
feeling out the market, and Puerto Rico, I got a call from Fort Buchanan in Puerto Rico, and I was all set to go. I was like, I'm gonna go be an island boy for a couple years, and I'll come back to the valley, and didn't happen because a guy I worked with out at Fed Fire El Centro, Mr. Sandoval, he's a captain now at Fed Fire Palmdale, Christian Sandoval.
Okay.
Cool, calm, and collected. Huge sports fan, but real quiet, doesn't say much. One day he was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about contracting?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Oh, I did it for like 4 years. I was in Marshall Islands, Curacao, a bunch of different places, Afghanistan." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
And he started explaining to me, like, "Yeah, there's different contracts. You go as a DoD contractor. You kind of show up and you're teaching someone else how to perform your trade. So basically an instructor. But then at the same time, if shit hits the fan, in turn, you're still performing their duties as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Working hand in hand anyways." Um, so I was like, he was like, "You know what, give me your resume and I'll shoot it off, and I'll see what I can do, because I still know some people, in some high places." So the whole time I'm thinking he's blowing smoke. I gave him my resume. The
Yeah.
very next day, I got an email and was like, "Are you interested in this job?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I still said yes, responded to the email. And then the next day, I got a call from the actual chief, and the theater chief in charge of like everything. And he was, "How soon can you get out here?" I was like, "Man, like, I need to put in a 2 weeks notice. I kind of already accepted a job somewhere else. I don't really know what to. I'm coming to
Yeah.
South.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Give me like 3 weeks." So yeah, man, 3 weeks later, Saudi kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't really like a real thought.
You weren't searching that out necessarily.
No. It happened so fast. And
Yeah.
contracting is something that a lot of people don't really know about. There's not a
Sure.
ton of education on it. It's one of those things, like, someone knows someone that contracts. No one ever.
Got that inside hookup kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. And it ended up working out. I showed up in country. I did like my research beforehand and coming out, which a ton of that was completely wrong.
So
'Cause
okay, so let's stop there. So all right, so you got that email, and what was your first thoughts? I mean, you got that email. What were your first thoughts at that time that you can remember back?
I like looked at the screen. I was like, Saudi Arabia. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So okay, you see Saudi Arabia. And I mean, how would it, what was that next thought?
well, I knew it was in the Middle East, and I had preconceived notions. I think the way any
Sure.
American probably does that hasn't been here anyways, or had any real experience with anyone from here.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I going into a war zone?
Yeah,
Am I going
yeah,
to, I really didn't know. But to be honest, like I was so set on just getting out and going that I was willing to like take on any challenges. It really didn't. I was all go. I needed something different. I needed a different space to be in. I needed to experience something. I was looking for growth. So
yeah. So you got a minute of trepidation, but the reality was you knew I'm I'm rolling with this.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I got up and I kind of started packing my stuff. And in leaving, it didn't hit me really until even I got here. Once I was here for a few days, I was like, I'm in Saudi. And
Yeah,
flying kind of looks like Mexico-ish some areas,
yeah.
but Palm Springs everywhere else. Um, but just the culture shock was absolutely insane, and still to this day. I mean, I've only been here a little over a year,
Yeah.
but just the way things are done, the laws. I'm in an Islam country.
Yeah.
It's an Islamic governed country.
Yeah.
Um, but things are slowly changing. A lot of things have changed here. It's a dry country, but the crown prince is like distributing liquor licenses now, and
So
things that are
they're moving
social.
into the Western world and then kind of slowly.
I guess like 2 years ago there was zero entertainment here, right? And then the day I landed, French Montana was performing here. Like,
Oh wow.
You nothing to French Montana, man. Damn.
yeah, yeah, it's
Gonna have hologram Tupac next. You know about
well, in like within the first month I was here, I went to the Joshua Ruiz fight. So
Oh,
uh,
that's
Oh
yeah, that's
wow.
right. That's right. That was December, and you got there. Yeah.
yeah, so a couple of guys I work with and two of the fire chiefs, they had tickets to the fight. Well, I was supposed to work that day, and I'm brand new. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting talking to one of the chiefs, and I was like, "Oh yeah, where Ruiz is from. I'm from like kind of the same area." I
Yeah.
was like, "I actually know some of the guys in his team, like Alex Martinez, Bubba." I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, no, he actually threw me the tickets," and
Wow.
I was like, "Dude, like, I really want to go to the fight." And he goes, "Oh, let me ask Chief." I was like, "No, dude, like, don't go ask Chief. Like, let me ask him." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Nah, he'll tell you no. Let me go ask." So he goes, he's like, "Hey, dude, like, go get changed. You're coming with us to the fight." So it was
That's
cool, man.
dope. That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, yeah, I remember the fact that you actually went to that. I'm like, bro, that is how ironic for that you'd be there and then to have this dude from literally, whatever way you want to talk about your El Centro Brawl. I mean, right in the middle of that whole thing, and this dude fighting in the right there. It's crazy.
It was insane to see like everyone in their thobes and the shamags and like
Yeah,
all their traditional clothes. Like they showed up, and there were a ton of Europeans, like a ton of Europeans. Everyone flew in for that thing.
yeah,
Who
yeah,
who who was the majority rooting for? Reese or Joshua? Would you
Oh,
say?
Joshua by a mile, because Europe
yeah.
is a hop, skip, and a jump away.
That's
You
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on a flight, like if you're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast, and it's the same as you fly from here to Europe.
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's wild. And I've seen you kind of get a little bit of a taste of that culture, right? I mean, you've gone around, seen the city, done some of the things, and kind of been a little bit putting yourself out there for this.
Yeah, yeah. So a few of the guys I work with that hadn't, well, not a few, but a majority hadn't really gone out and experienced anything. So like we live on like Western compounds. It's like
Uh,
it's like a huge like you've been to Palm Springs and been to like the timeshare like Marriott resort
Yeah,
area.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of like that where we live. Like you don't really have to go outside if you don't
sure.
want to. It would be defeating the whole purpose of being here if you didn't do that. So
Without experiencing something.
yeah, I know locals. I've met people, a couple of guys that have like lived in LA. They're from here. Yeah, I've gone out and done a bunch of stuff, seen the city, gone through the old gold soup, like gone through what's considered like the hoods here just to see everything.
Yeah,
And it's not far off from like any other civilization as far as, the way people live.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is awesome for you to actually, yeah, get out of the comfort zone beyond just being in Saudi Arabia, but actually, you know, putting on the like I don't whatever they call that, right? Wearing the
Mhm.
native clothing and really fully immersing yourself into that, and it's
Yeah,
uh
it's so different. Uh, it requires, or it required anyways, and still a huge amount of growth and just being completely open-minded, because I didn't just move cities or move states. I
yeah,
dropped into a different country, and it's kind of like an extremist country.
yeah,
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
but being here, um, looking up from the outside in, it was different before actually coming and experiencing it. But it's awesome here. The
yeah,
pace of life is very slow, very very slow pace. No one's going anywhere too fast.
yeah.
There's not a ton of like mental health problems here in the country. There's not too many, well, maybe like diabetes and stuff. They love some sweets. You can go get candy on every corner. You can get a burger on every single corner. I'm not missing food. There's a Raising Canes everywhere. Cheesecake Factory,
McDonald's.
Oh, so
McDonald's.
so you're taken care of. You got some decent things.
Oh, yeah, they basically took the best things from every country and were like, bring those here.
Put it
So
right here. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I still eat like an American.
um, so right now you've been there a little over a year, and what's your time frame left in Saudi?
That's a good question. Um, I just signed to stay for another year. I
Beyond
just
your
got,
original contract?
no, no. So every year it's a completely new contract.
Okay,
Um, but I just got a promotion, so it was easy to stay, and I'm
sure.
stay possibly 3 total years. To be honest, I really don't know. I haven't full on set an exact timeline, and I'm kind of just the way things have worked out so far. I've kind of just been playing
Let it
it by ear,
ride.
letting things happen. Things have been working out for me. So
Yeah,
until I actually have to make a decision, I'll probably just play it this way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your long-term intention, you would like to be back in the U.S.?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I want a family and the whole nine. But yeah,
Yeah,
and more than likely I'll probably end up in the valley.
yeah,
Contrary to popular belief, I love the Imperial Valley and everything it has to offer. I think it's the greatest place to raise a family, to be honest. And
Yep.
I'm not like a real big city guy to begin with. You might look at me and think otherwise, but that's not the case. Guy has tattoos and
like a little
Yeah. Yeah.
flashy. Got the yeah.
wow, man, like
It's amazing, man. It's such a unique place, dude. It's we you said it's not for everyone, even if you're from here originally, but like, this place is, like you said, man, to raise a family and to, kids growing up. And I mean, I couldn't, as as someone who grew up here, right. And then having children, man, it's unique. It's a very unique place because I mean we still have the opportunity to get away from here and enjoy the other things, or go to San Diego, or go to Arizona, or whatever, right? But it's unique. I wouldn't trade what I have. I mean at this point in time, so I could definitely see you coming back here, and Which that's awesome to hear that too. Um, you I gotta touch on this a little bit. So you got to explain your infatuation, your desire, your shoe game, and where start with just the shoe game and where that came from for you.
From like early.
Just
So
how are you a shoe guy? How are you a shoe guy at this point in time?
um so starting young, I've always loved kicks. The first pair of sneakers I like actually fell in love with were the first Air Griffey Max, because I was a Ken Griffey Jr. stan. You couldn't
Yeah.
tell me I wasn't God. Like, you know what I mean? I was one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I said we're pretty close in age, bro. So if you grew up in that time frame, I mean,
And
you
dude, I
got
never
Griffey,
got
Frank Thomas, you got a handful of dudes that were like those were the
yeah,
guys, bro. Like,
it was that era. But
yeah,
I never got them. I feel like most people know my mom was a single parent, raised three of us. So
you ain't getting the Griffies.
yeah, her. But you know what? I had asked for them or whatever for Christmas one year, and it was like when they came out, and she couldn't get them,
Yeah,
and she kind of like apologized, dude, and it like crushed me that she apologized. You know, like nah, you
yeah,
couldn't. I mean, they're already hard to get anyways. You know.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So then, she got me the 13s, the retro 13s with the golf dipples, the Jordans, the ones that were in He Got Game,
yeah, yeah.
and she like went and stood in line and everything. Like I got out of school, dude. I was at Desert Gardens. I got out of school, bro. And my mom had those kicks for me, and
That's
they were
awesome. Wow.
like at that time that was crazy expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like I always took care of them. I would clean them, you know, and I kind of started becoming like a sneakerhead a little bit. Like I liked shoes. I always was into fashion and you know, the way, you know, dressing a certain type of way and expressing myself through fashion, basically, the way I
Yeah,
dress is deeper than just me throwing on clothes. It always kind of has been. But yeah, I've always taken a liking to sneakers because they're hard to get. It's like collecting anything. People that collect
yeah,
baseball cards or comic books or vases or dolls or whatever. People collect
yeah,
weird. I collect, well, I don't really collect shoes, but I resell sneakers. So that's
yeah.
what you're probably talking about was me reselling. So the way I got into that was, you know, I landed here in Saudi, and
So before this, you weren't doing this.
I had resold like a couple pairs like here and there. I would do it once in a while, but nothing to like write home about, nothing
Yeah,
that required any real attention or dedication to doing, you know, it didn't require
yeah.
anything. It was, I'd get buy a pair and sit on them for like a month and then I'd sell
Flip
them.
'em.
And
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that turned into like 15 to 20 plus pairs per release per, you know, it just things started happening. But yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. So
yeah,
uh, I was looking online for a couple different places that released out here. There's sneaker stores, but they don't get releases, and there's zero consignment shops.
mm,
I was like, man, there's and everything's crazy expensive because you have shipping, you have to pay for the shipping, and
yeah,
then you have VAT tax that comes in, and you can price stuff here at whatever you want because it's really hard to get,
yeah,
and everything's already limited. So over in Dubai, I was kind of paying attention via social media. Started following a couple people on Instagram, and you know, in turn, going and looking online at their websites and seeing different stores and made some relationships and started being able to like backdoor because you know how it works. For those that don't know, when a release of a sneaker comes out, say a Jordan 1, whatever colorway is coming out,
yeah.
it's not, you can't just go to the store and buy them.
No.
Um, that day is dead. That day is beyond dead. You also can't really just get online and purchase them like that. You have
No.
to get online, and your chances of getting them are, I think it's like 1 in 9,000 or something like that. Because you have people like me that have botters that have like virtual credit cards and virtual, you know, kind of everything. go in and you have a system that kind of beats the Nike sneakers app or the Adidas app,
Yeah.
and you pick out however many, you would like at the time.
Like you said, so you found your way to make this thing work, and I know, like, just through our conversation, right? I mean, I know this is something that you want to continue to kind of build for yourself. And you mentioned, I think, in the past, that once you can move around a little bit, when this whole COVID thing is done, you got some intentions to kind of grow what you're doing, right?
Yeah. So aside from even just reselling alone, I mean, even within reselling, there's so many different avenues and so many different streams and so many different creative ways of getting it done. Um, it's not just a social media thing. It kind of comes down to wanting to grow even more from what it is. Like it's too hard now to just be complacent, like I see the
Yeah.
success, everything I put into it and the return I get. So I get up early in the mornings, like 4:45, go to the gym. After I hit the gym, I'll get on it. I'm doing research. I'm sending emails. I'm checking the market prices. I'm checking release dates, contacting people I need to contact. But yeah, in doing that, I have, someone back home doing shipping for me. So
Yeah.
I don't even touch anything in the States. I kind of just run it from my laptop and phones. But yeah, I would like to get into kind of almost what you're doing as far as your podcast, but more of like a vlog style at different
Sure.
sneaker shops, and just giving kind of that outlet and that platform to shop owners. A lot of them already have it, but for like more of the independent, smaller, up and coming shops,
Yeah.
just to, in it also brings networking, and it's free marketing for them, and just stuff like that, because in order to grow in this business, you have to have great relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and for like you said, for those that don't know, I mean, the shoe industry, because I mean, there's people who don't understand this, but
Like
I
a
mean,
$26 billion market
it's
worldwide.
huge.
You have 13 and 14-year-old kids in the States making like 160K a year. They're making more than their parents are just reselling.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Randy, do you resell Adidas as well?
Yes, Yeezys, kind of any limited pair of anything you need, I got you.
Tell me how much these are worth right here. I got these at the Calexico outlets right here. I think I got it for like $16, man.
Those are some boosts. Yeah, they're probably gonna stay right there, but they're comfortable though.
They're very comfortable.
those things are crisp $16 bill right there. I tell you.
man.
You know what's funny is I still like, as much as I resell shoes, and as much as I can touch as far as like limited releases, I still wear my Nike Cortezes.
That's just your style,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean,
They're
it's.
comfy though. They're comfy though.
No, I said I've had some Cortezes too, and that's like my favorite shoes. The one, I mean, Jordan ones. I mean, that's like it goes with so many things. It's a versatile shoe. It's I like it. Any sort of pant, pretty much. It looks fresh with. Those are my favorite shoes for sure.
I've noticed women, they're like, the amount of women that wear Jordans now is insane.
Really?
Insane. So here in Saudi, it's all Yeezys. Like
Really,
everyone, yeah, like that's their go-to shoe, right? Is Yeezys.
yeah,
Yeah, back home, man, the women that are wearing sneakers, it's the numbers are insane. Um, because they're also getting like the best colorways. Jordan Brand and Nike are very smart by making
yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
I
They
own like two
definitely.
pairs of women's shoes.
I don't remember. I saw someone recently. Who was it? Was it Tommy Alexander or someone posted like they like got a pair of like ones, and it was a female pair of shoes. He's all, I didn't know they had this. I don't remember what was like on the shoelace in the front, but like it was, I don't know if it was a heart, or I don't remember what it was, but it was something where it's like he's all still gonna rock these things. So but like, I mean, so curious off of that, do you see, I obviously it's a passion project for you as well, but do you see some potential for you to actually do something as a daily thing with this, like as you move forward?
Yeah. So I've had like a couple people already approach as investors for like a brick and mortar and online, but
Yeah,
I kind of want to do it all myself. Like I want to be integrated vertically. I want to own everything from the ground to the top. Like I want full
you
total
you
control.
you want to build this thing on your own and not and see it grow it the way you want to do it.
Correct. Yeah, because I just don't want someone to be able to tell me how I'm going to do what I want to
Sure.
do.
Yeah.
And once you
So,
get someone else's money involved, then that's inevitable.
correct. So I mean, I do plan on doing it. I don't know to what extent necessarily yet, because right now I don't have any overhead, you know.
Yeah,
Um, and it's too easy to keep it that way.
sure.
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Do you have a business name yet, or idea for a name or
I
anything?
do. I do.
Can't
It's
tell us though.
no, I got you. So I'm gonna drop the Instagram page pretty soon. Shout out to the guys over at Bourgeois. That
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
all my logos and everything, but it's members by association.
Got
So
you.
by association was kind of the street, but it's a lot deeper than that with the name for me, anyways. Um, as far as like in coming here, like if when you share culture, you kind of realize you're all more the same than you are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You, and I think we're all humans kind of by association that makes us members and brothers regardless. So that's kind of how I came up with the name. So
I like it, man.
That's cool.
I like it, and it's true. So here's a funny thing on those Griffies, right? I'm just gonna and we're a lot more alike than we seem, right? Or that seems to appear, right? So we have one of our kind of long-term customers with our company, out of Japan. He's probably, I don't know, 60 or so. Cool dude, maybe even a little bit older. He's probably 65. Cool
yeah,
dude. I know he's got cash because every now and then when he comes here, he'll show up like they don't come all fancy and stuff, but he shows up like he'll have like a Louis Vuitton belt on or something like that, just out of place. It doesn't seem right, but so I know, and I've obviously got to know him over the years of me going to Japan and really get to see him there in his setting, and yeah, he's got a nice spot and everything. So I remember my last trip over there, we went to his apartment building in Osaka, and we're waiting for he's waiting for his wife to come down. We're gonna go to dinner together, and so he comes down, and we're sitting there talking. And I look down at his shoes. The man's got on Griffies, man. He's got on Griffies, and I was like, "Oh my god, bro! Those are like." And you don't know that this you just don't know and you see some guy like that and this guy he likes shoes. He's a shoe. This dude's 60, probably close to 65, and he's got some
They got
fresh
swag,
ass
man.
Griffies on, man. And I'm like, this man, so it's true. So you, like you said, man, you don't know how similar you are, until you start talking about certain things, and it's like it just brings you together.
yeah, it's nuts because like in the States, we kind of dictate how the rest of the world moves as far as fashion goes, as far as
Yeah,
Yeah.
street fashion.
yeah,
Which is so weird now because street fashion is high fashion now. Like, do you remember
It
when
is.
like Allen Iverson, uh, was showing up and getting fined for showing up in like, street style fashion?
exactly. And now,
Like off white, like you can't buy a t-shirt for less than like $600.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you got, yeah, like you said, like off white right there. I mean, you got they're one of the most expensive, I'm assuming. Jordan, off whites are like insanely expensive, and yeah, and you would never assume that to be, like you said, high fashion, and that was killing it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I do have those Griffies now. I did get
Yeah, I assumed you did. I would be like, this man had to have got those.
So I still haven't worn them. They're kind of just like my little trophy
Trophy.
because they're pair I could never get, you know. So they're just
Is
kind of
that your
like my.
favorite pair of shoes, man? Or what's your
No,
favorite?
no, no. It's
What's your
just kind
favorite
of
all
like
time?
a moment in time. Yeah,
Um, bro, no, you know, I'm excited to see, for you where things go. So we didn't talk about anything with your family and all that stuff and everything, you know, um, obviously we did earlier when we first started talking, man, but you got a little bit of time still?
yeah. Dude, I'm wide open today.
All right. So I want to like because we can cut stuff, move stuff around a little bit, but um, I know for you, like we were talking about earlier, but I know for you, a big driving force is your family, right? I know that's that strong connection for you, and probably the being the older brother of Brandon and Skylar, and showing them and leading the charge for you. I like where does that play into just you and in the way your mind works?
And it's huge. I don't have any kids, but I've always kind of treated my brothers like they were mine. You know,
Yeah,
younger it was at a place. As we become older, it's been imperative. You know, but man, they mean everything to me. They are the reason I'm probably a better person because I've had to be to try to be an example.
yeah,
Um, they're a big reason for my success. Um, because for me to even want to try to push something on them or try to get the best out of them, I would have to do it myself. Otherwise, I'm just talking out of my ass, you know.
yeah,
So I like a put up or shut up type thing, and coming out here anyways. But it's funny because when I told Brandon, um, there there's no we never really do like a congratulations. It's weird. Um, and any time one of us accomplishes something, it never happens, and it's weird to think about. But he was like, I wouldn't expect anything less, and
Yeah.
that's what I always give him. Right? That's what I always give
just
him.
so matter of fact that you expect the success from each other.
And now Skylar is the same way. That kid is an alien. Like he's not 15 years old. Um, could sit down and have a conversation with him about any and everything. He's gonna ask questions about any and everything, and like just
Yeah,
very mature beyond his years. Um, so to see how like excited he is about just life, not like sports or school, but just about life in general. Um, I haven't really seen that in like kids like too much.
yeah,
He's a little bit of a different soul than Brandon and I. He's a little bit of a lighter soul than us,
yeah,
more rah, 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 kind of. But yeah, Skylar's a lot more laid back than we
yeah.
are.
Now
But
that yeah, I'm sure some of that has to do with you took some of the pressure off of he's the younger brother, and you guys have kind of I don't know. I mean, you definitely watch out for him, and kind of I don't know. Maybe just like say you were the oldest one, and I think you probably saw I don't know whether directly or not, and but you had to find a way to show them a path to success.
sure, absolutely. And my mom had done that for us already.
Yeah,
Being a single mother and raising us three boys. To see, she just got another promotion. As a matter of fact, a couple days ago, she's like
yeah.
running her medical department at Calipat now. Like she
Fucking
went from
awesome, man.
Wow.
and to see where she started without a college degree, what she's made of herself and how fast and like how much people that she works with respect her. And I think that's always been like my biggest thing um, in teaching my brothers anything. Granted, they got to see it firsthand as well. But something that I've taken away, I think, more than anything from professional life or just anything is, I mean, personal anything is watching my mom and seeing the respect that she gets from people.
Yeah,
Um, Someone mentions like they work at the prison, I mentioned like my mom and their. It's always like a react. It's never like like a good reaction was never a bad reaction. She was like a no bullshit type of woman. You
Yeah,
do your
stern
the right way.
and
You're wrong, then you're wrong. You know, she's like that, and I've always admired that people respect her. Not that they necessarily all like her, but that everyone respects her.
yeah. Yeah, and I like we were talking about earlier, man, and I like I didn't know your mom necessarily. All right, I knew who you guys were, and but I when I wanted to help Brandon out, man, and it was funny because and I don't remember even how I saw a film of him. I knew he was right. I knew he was, and I want to say his junior, yeah, his junior year, and I wanted to help him then. And after his junior year, and for whatever reason, I remember Victor Ramirez. I had him hey man, can find a way to reach out, man. I would love to help this kid, man. I think I can help him. And his junior year, I could have really helped him because his junior year he was playing receiver and had a guy just putting the ball up for him in the air, right? Like, and I could have really helped him. And for whatever reason, I just never, I just didn't, it didn't happen. And then finally his senior year, I don't remember how I got in contact. I don't remember at all. I think I just got Brandon's number from someone and I was like, man, I can help you. Like, let me help you. And then that's when he's like, hey, my mom wants to, I think cause I already started contacting schools and got some people like interested. And so he's like, hey, my mom wants to meet with you. I'm like, all right, like that's cool. That's cool. And he told me, he's like, hey, she's just, she definitely just really protective and so she wants to, she wants to meet with you. So I guess we went to Burgers and Beer one night and your little brother, 5 years old at the time, and we were sitting there and he was like, can I get an ice cream? And I just, the funniest thing is I'm just sitting there talking to my mom. I was like, oh, can I get an ice cream? She's like, yeah. Wait and get the wait, because we weren't eating. We just went there to talk, right? And so he's like, eats his little ice cream with his little wooden stick, the little tiny little ice creams. And then like, but he mows to that in like seconds. And then it's just like, can I have another one? And just like I said, man, I remember sitting there going like, bro, I can't wait to see what this kid turns out to be, bro. And that funny thing, like you mentioned, like, yeah, he doesn't look like he's 16 years old or whatever he is right now. I remember like you guys, you guys took a picture from his Pop Warner, right? Like
Yep.
Pop Warner, bro. And I remember I was trying to tell college coaches about him, just trying to get the ball rolling, about just talking to college coaches about him. So I just screenshot thing and sent this thing to them. I was like, this kid's in 8th grade in this picture. And they're like, there is no way this kid's an 8th grader, bro. And this dude, like, because he looks like he's.
I thought you were taking a picture of the Boise State football player, dude. I was like, who is that, dude?
But bro, like, just to see that from like, because it's so funny, right? To go back in time now, because I remember just that 5-year-old kid. I remember that vividly, bro, because I was 25. I was married, but I didn't have kids or anything like that, right? So, and I just, the funniest thing, man, I look back at that and go like, bro, like I remember thinking like, oh, what's this kid gonna be like? And then just seeing him now, which is it's awesome to see what he turned out to.
Skyler wasn't even thinking about sports at that time. And when he was playing sports, when he was a little kid, he was ready for snack time.
That's right, bro. Yeah, you could definitely tell that at the time. So I was thinking like, man, this dude's gonna be a 6'5", 300-pound like tackle. Like, all right, let's get an offensive lineman out of here, bro. Like I can't, And then for those that don't know, he's like, I don't know, 6'2" or something like that, probably. Probably it looks like he's about a $185 or 190 receiver, and he's athletic. I mean, just but he looks like a grown man. He just
Got like hair on his face, and I like
man. Like I say, you guys are all blessed with the
Nice beards, man.
I mean, I feel you on that because I got that solid facial hair too. So
it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse.
It's 100.
Me and Donald have nothing, man. We're Japanese.
Yeah. You know what though? Like at least you don't have to shave every damn day.
Yeah, it's a
That's
little
true.
different
That's
for
true.
you kind of like said gift and a curse. There's times like, yeah, bro, I woke up this morning and shaved. I gotta shave, like you can't shave every day. It's impossible.
Well, here it's kind of cool because I don't have to. There's
That's a bit of the culture.
yeah, it works out in that sense. But and going back home, oh no, clean shaven every day.
Is
Yeah.
it here? Is that the requirements? Yeah.
They say it's for like your a mask seal, but it's
Oh,
more for like professionalism because they've actually done studies and it shows that the more if you have like a little bit of facial hair, there's more
yeah.
friction for the actual seal. And like I've actually proved it in doing that. I was that being that guy one day out here at
You
work.
had you had
Damn.
the
Still gonna pass the fit test. I'll show you. They're like, no, you have a beard. So I strapped it on and put it on, and I was passed the test. But
you had to put the experiment to test.
yeah, we had it.
Uh, yeah, no, man. And I say going back to like your brothers, right? And I know, like, say your mom too, and I know how important that is, and I'm sure even seeing your brother's success, meaning Brandon, and now has starting a family and doing that, and I'm sure, and I said I know even Brandon definitely looks up to you, and that's that relationship strong, but and I know for you, I'd seen the pride when he was playing like at South Dakota State, and it's a very it's a really cool thing to see how tight that brother unit is between like all three of you
Yeah.
guys.
I mean, we even wear like I don't know if you remember. This was way back, like when I was in high school. Eric Galvan did like a big article on why I wear the number three, why I wore the number three.
Okay,
It was like a whole like article, but basically at that Skylar wasn't around then. It was just me, my mom, and my brother,
is
Brandon.
that the
That
yeah
was why I wore number three. So then Brandon wore number three.
carried that on?
He wears, Skylar as well. But yeah, we're very close, and you know what I'm saying as far as
Yeah,
brotherly love goes. It's real with us. We might fuss and argue here and there, but it's never deeper than surface level. Like
yeah.
we might talk some shit, but that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's normal. But yeah, it is. It's funny because obviously, from outside looking in, you could just tell it's a unique thing because not everyone's that close. And so it even drive. Like just said, man. Even just meeting your mom and seeing that time when I was like even more determined to help Brandon now because I'm like, man, like not everyone is this involved in this caring necessarily. Like, I remember parents want their kids to be successful, but like, I mean, your mom was afraid of didn't want people to be involved in their kids' life if it wasn't for the right reasons, right? I mean,
Still,
and
still, still to this day.
it's awesome,
Yeah. She's a huge reason for our success and like who we are today. Like 99% of it is from that foundation.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, she didn't let us play sports unless you like if you didn't have like a 3.6, like you weren't playing sports.
Mhm.
Seriously, bro. Seriously,
Like,
yeah.
let me play basketball because I had like a 3.5. Like she showed up and she was like, "Get your ass off the court." Like what? Grades, and it was a progress report. It wasn't even like
My
semester
God.
grade.
I feel like I lived the same life as you. I mean, that my mom, my mom was the same way. It's like, no. I'm like, seriously? You really gonna
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and you know what? It's in at the time you don't see it. You're young, you're dumb, you're selfish, you're a kid. But when as you age and you get older and you start having experiences, you see why, because it just translates into something else, like a
yeah,
different experience, maybe for a job or maybe a relationship, whatever it may be. Like you have to put in the work in order.
exactly.
You have to do what you need to do in order to do what you want to do.
That's
And
right. That's right, man. It's like you said, it didn't make sense then, but I mean, all those life lessons at this point in time, man. It's funny when things pop back up, and it's like, you start having these conversations just like this, right? Where you do think about that. It's like, man, like I am the way I am for a reason. I mean, this didn't just happen overnight, like this drive and this, like I said, I mean, the your reasoning for picking up and going and moving out there, man, that that's from years of just like kind of growing up and determination and wanting to be successful and understanding that you got to take risks and moving forward. And like, there's a lot of things that play into like, these decisions that we make. And it's, but really take time at that point in time to really understand it. Right. You kind of just, it's not until later we take a chance to reflect.
You know what though? I've always been um like a like I'm a firm believer in conditioning now because of, the way I grew up. And looking back, um my mom would always, from like the time from when we were young, she would like praise us in certain moments, but then in other instances she, wouldn't. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But she would always say, like, from when I was like in high school, like, you're going to be fine anywhere you go. You're going to do fine anywhere you go. You can go
Yeah.
anywhere in the world, you'll be perfectly fine. And when I had that Saudi contract in front of me, like, that was the one thing that kind of like rung in my ears. So I was like, it was all gas from there.
Yeah. 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 No, that's, it's just like I said, man, the conditioning that's like, man, I'm like I said, I'm straight. It's good. I'll be all right, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm fired up for you. I'm excited. That's like I thought this would be cool because, like I said, it's just a totally different thing, right? It's definitely yeah, because we've gone over someone to some business more on that side, but got a little bit of that with you too, But I knew this would be just a totally different realm that gives people an insight to how you can, like I said, man, not everyone looks outside of that box. And kind of, it's funny, man, your thing a little lines up a little bit with like Hunter's dad, where he talked about he's just never really thought about it. He just goes. It's like that next opportunity that popped up. It's like, sounds good. I'm rolling with it. Let's go. Like, and that's kind of like, you've kind of just moved this thing along where that next opportunity, that seems like the right thing. Let's do it.
And it's like, how many people from the Valley know that there's a kid from the Valley out in Saudi Arabia training firemen there? I mean, that's a pretty crazy thing, man.
Yeah, it's I mean, it sounds weird to me. And I mean, to even like, go in a little deeper into it, I've always been like someone's always like dropped a rope for me, or if someone's ever like help open a door for me, I don't no one has ever done every single thing by themselves.
No, exactly.
It's owed to your hard work and your morals and your good karma, but as well as someone providing an opportunity for you or creating an opportunity for you. But if I didn't have anyone to drop a rope for me, I wouldn't be where I am. But at the same rate, like, I just did the same. There's another guy out here from the Valley. He got here like 5-6 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I pushed his app up to our chief, and I was like, you need to hire this guy.
Young guy or?
Yeah. So his whole family's firefighters. He's a seaman. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
that's awesome, man. I didn't know that. And that's like that's so true, man. I mean, when you look at it, like we've all had opportunities in our life that have been presented because someone opened a door, right? I mean, and that's like same with like helping kids, man. It's like I always wanted, like, dude, if I can be that conduit, if I can open that door, like, because you've got to keep yourself there, right? And we all do, right? But anytime anyone else been able to open that door, it's like, it's just about what do you do with that opportunity once you get there. And that's the truth. Yeah. Like, no one can say, man, I mean, I guess maybe there's self-made instances, but we've all had opportunities because someone was there to say, hey, do this, or what, have you ever thought of this, or just making that connection. Right. And that's what's cool, man, because we've all been through there. We've all had that happen to us, and it's led to success for all, every one of us, it's and it's awesome to see that, man. But it is keeping yourself there and keeping yourself those opportunities for yourself, because now you've made something of those for yourself. and it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I really have no idea where it's going. I know that a lot of the opportunities I think that have been created for me, or is probably a lot of them were just through conversation, and not even conversation about a certain subject, but I'm someone that observes a lot. Like I can do like pretty good like impressions and stuff, impersonations. Like
Me too.
like I observe like any and everything. So I've always been
Yeah.
one of the people that kind of will sit and watch someone that like I admire something about them. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, for instance, do you know Bobby Benavides?
And I know the name. I don't know.
A great friend, right? Sergeant for sheriff's office.
Okay.
Great,
Okay.
incredible family man and father, and like we're friends beyond that, obviously beyond because I admire that, but it's like I admire that about that man, like just certain things. And then it's Chief Rohotis. I
Yeah.
admire him, fire chief, and as a man, like you take those bits and pieces of everyone else's arsenal and you implement that within yourself, and you can build an absolute monster.
Yeah, man. That's very true. It's very true because like you said, man, you get around people and you start taking pieces. You see, like you said, man, the same thing, man. Like you watch people and you see, you kind of start, because I, especially at a young age, start modeling things that people do. It's like, man, this person, this is what's going on in their life, and this is how they hold themselves, and this is how what they do on a daily basis, and kind of get that chance. And if you're smart enough to take the opportunities to watch that and see people do stuff like that, it is it's very true, because
Yeah.
you could definitely kind of start shaping your life if you really take the time to think about it.
You know who's one of those people too that this is funny. So Hunter, we're in San Diego. Brandon was at a quarterback camp thing, and not
The
a camp.
Coach Van Rapper.
Yeah, dude, up there. And
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mom was talking about, like, I was just in the academy,
yeah,
and your mom was one of the first people that I didn't know about flight medics. I was like brand new to the stuff, and your mom was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah, yeah.
talk to Donnie, who this and that." And that's kind of when my mind started jumping. Okay, it's not just strictly fire that I have to be in. There are other avenues within it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll never forget that.
that's funny.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Eh,
You got to surround yourself with like-minded people, motivated people. And that's why, like, this dude right here, like, I mean, we talked about me on the first podcast with my own father. Like, I was totally nervous. And it's like, Justin's the one that really wanted to do this. And I do want to do something creative like this. And he's kind of pushed me into this. This dude wakes up at 3:20 every morning and works out he sends emails to our Japanese customers, works out at 4 a.m. and then calls me at 8 a.m. and goes, "Did you work out this morning?" And he can see it in my eyes when I haven't, because I'm staying up too late and stuff. But he pushes me, man. And you got to surround yourself with people like that.
It's so true. And that's what's funny, man. Like, cause I don't honestly, I never really knew Randy. I mean, you're young, a little bit younger, and didn't go to school together, nothing like that, man. And it's just from like really just watching people. And I see you, and it's someone that I just, it's the same, man. I just find people that I respect the way that I see them holding themselves and what they do. And because a lot of people say things but don't do it, and it's just watching, like I like to keep that circle with people that it's like, man, if someone's gonna mention that name, go like, oh yeah, I know that dude. That's this and that great person. Blah. Like, this is the kind of people that I want to be around. I don't want to be around people that are like continually just pushing themselves to be better. And that's what's so funny, because it's true, man. Like I do wake up stupid early, and but it's created this opportunity for me to, okay, I wake up early. I'm gonna beat everyone else that does what I do in my work life, because I talk to our customers from the first thing in the morning, like they're still awake. I get things done. Then at night, like I hit them, so I have this weird time frame. But like my boss, he's like, "Do you sleep?" And he's like, it's crazy, because he's like, yeah, he's like, you save like days on like getting things done, right? Like selling or whatever we're doing, right? Because of the time frame. but it's like, it's just who I am. But my mindset is that, well, I'm going to be better than every single other person that does this, because that is what I'm going to do. I will beat you at whatever we're going to do. And it's just, but it's just on that's it's just who I am. But it's because of the life lessons along the way, right? It's my mom saying you can't play football if you don't have a 3.5 or above. It's that thing, like, those exact things. And it's so funny when he said that, bro, because I was like, bro, same, man. Like, and I know he did, this guy was stupid smart in school and stuff like that too. So
Everyone knows the Whartons.
yeah,
Every-
it's like, I'm like, bro, like a 4 point whatever. It's like, yeah, whatever, dude. All right. But it
Yeah,
is cool,
man.
man, because like, our story right together as well. Like, you know what? My mom used to work with Donnie like years ago. So I knew them when they were little, and then, helping his brother, then helping him, and then obviously everything just came full circle because he interned with us a few years back.
After football, yeah, he did
it,
the internship,
and then we were looking for someone to hire at the time, and I'm like, man, I think he'd be a good opportunity to grow up, and he's got some good, good Brawley connections for what we do in ag and stuff. So it might be good, but it's just funny to see things continue to come full circle with opportunities, because, the same thing with having this conversation with you.
Yeah,
You know,
I wanted to also say, Randy, like, obviously me and Donald grew up with Brandon playing
yeah.
Pop Warner, growing up with him, and we always loved Brandon, man. We wish he came to Brawley. I will say that still. But like, just seeing the way you talk about him and Skylar it's the dynamic reminds me of me and my brother, dude. The way you're defensive over him, the way you said, like, when you talk to Brandon about accomplishments, like me and my brother still are kind of like, we don't talk to each other that much, and like when we talk about that kind of stuff, it's a little weird dynamic, but we just love each other, man. I think that's why every time I've gotten to know you better over the years, and I know Brandon, and it's always love seeing you guys, man. Like,
Yeah, man. You know what? I've always, like in interacting with your entire family, dude, it's always been love. Like you guys have
yeah,
always like embraced us, like not even just because you guys, your dad would come pick up like Skylar sometimes for practice and stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Brandon, excuse me, not Skylar.
Brandon, Brandon,
He looks older, but
Brandon.
like it was just love, man. It's super genuine. You know when you're having like, someone is giving off that authentic and genuine energy, and your interaction with someone, someone on a regular basis versus, someone you might see once in a while. I cannot see you guys for years and see you and it's all love. Like I
Yeah,
hadn't seen you in a while, and then I saw you at the lettuce tournament last year, remember?
yeah, yeah.
Not this past year, but the year before. And I was like, oh, you out here golfing, swinging it? Yeah, it's a good time. Like,
Trying,
and
man.
had like a little 10-15 minute conversation. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing when you can share like good, genuine conversation with someone
Yep.
else, and the intentions are pure and good.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for all the, to see everything, man, yourself, and see where things go for you, just as things grow as far as your career, your, you know, outside interests, and see where that goes. I can't wait to follow up when you get things popping with that side of things too. Like you said, man, I can't wait to see what happens with Skylar. This story is far from over, and the opportunities as things move forward, man. And obviously Brandon, man, I'm super proud of what he's done and where he's going to.
I greatly appreciate that. There's actually something that I want to address real quick with everything. I don't know if people are super familiar with what you do for kids and how involved you are and how much work it takes, because I don't think people actually understand that if they aren't athletes themselves, and even then I
Yeah.
don't think kids don't fully understand. Um, Man, like you deserve a lot, dude. Like you deserve everything good you have coming to you. You are helping change and create people's futures. You're not just creating a way for someone to go to college. It's much bigger than that. You're creating an
Yeah.
opportunity through a college and their ability for them to live the rest of their life well. And I don't think enough people understand that, and I don't think you get enough credit for that.
Yeah.
Um, we can't wait to see what you do with Skylar and my mom, and Brandon, we've already had the conversations, and like that's your lane. Like there's no
Um,
in buts about
I'm,
it.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's it's something that when I remember having this conversation. I was like Rice just starting to coach, and I remember um I was starting to help kids from Imperial at the time, and I remember one of the coaches, Raymond Culp, right, Royce Culp's dad. He was saying, like, you know, um, why do you want to help kids? I'm like, honestly, like it started because I when I was playing, I didn't feel like anyone cared. I didn't feel like anyone really cared if anyone went anywhere, anyone did anything. It was just solely about just playing the game here, and that was it, right? And it and there's other backstory history to the fact that I did that. It wasn't that I thought no one cared. It's just no one cared. It wasn't they that wasn't part of it, And I was like, man, like I want to like I want to change that. I would really want to help people. I really want to help kids get out of here. And even though they were right under my age, but it was like, man, I can help you, right? Dude, Christian Ramirez, bro. Like, I didn't even know how to make a film, bro. We were taking like VHS tape, legit VHS tape, and I was trying to put it onto a DVD. This is before I found some whack ass editing system from Best Buy and but like I was like, I'm gonna figure it out, but we'll put this thing together and we'll get it in front of schools, right? There's like, but that was legit how that thing happened. It was like because we were like 19th century as far as technology goes, but it was like that started that. I was like, I really want to help kids, and then when you started seeing them get out of here. And then it was just about building those networks with people, and it goes with any industry, right? Anything you do, it's just about getting people to trust your opinion. But there is nothing, very few things in life that I've been able to have happen because I've got kids and a wife and stuff. So I can't act like it. But when a kid signs for me, when a kid goes to school, like that is one of the most amazing feelings that you could have to see, that you could be a part of that process for their life, to know that that little window of time that you spent helping them can totally change the trajectory of someone's life. That right there, there's nothing as far as what I can do. Like I can work and make, like, for me, that ability to be able to do that or help people to be that conduit. There's nothing that I found that can be that fulfilling. It's pretty amazing for me.
And you know what? I mean, I'm a couple years removed from the Valley, but no one was doing that when I was in school coming up, and
That's
I don't.
that's
No one was doing it before that, and after. No one was. There isn't anyone else really doing it that way. That
that's
doesn't necessarily want like a stamp on it,
No, and I mean I think like my father-in-law will tell me, Cal Jones, you go back to the name that's on the Central Stadium, right? That guy, yeah. You go back to that name, that guy did that, in a totally different time frame. But like you go back to that, but since that point in time, but like it's yeah, and it really at this point in time, it's very cool to think that like now it's become to a point where, yeah, I've got friends that coach college football, like, or whatever, like it's just like that's what it's become. It's like people that I just talk to, and like if I've got a kid that they should look at, they will look at that kid. Before it was like, bro, like how do I get these people to want to watch these kids film, right? Like it's now it is awesome, man. And that's why I'm very excited to, whatever happens for Skylar, as far as whether it's baseball, whether it's whatever it may be, right? He's going to do something, like you said, man. He's such a unique individual. Like he's got so much more. It's not just about sports with him. There's so much more to him and his ability, and that'll make him even more successful no matter where he ends up. It's not just about sports. It's going to be about the whole process for him.
Yeah. I think just the person he is going to be enough.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. He
I think,
the athletics will take care of himself for him. He'll
yeah,
he'll be what he's going to be fine in that aspect. And that's what's so cool, because there's going to be that kid where it's like you just want him to be get him in front of people.
And like I'm always like telling like, dude, be a kid, dude. Like I know you're super mature because like you grew up around us and stuff, but like be a kid. Like you still got to like relax a little bit, man. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
dude, go jump in the canal and go do all
Do the things that we did as kids, man. And
do all that stuff, dude. Enjoy. Like there's a little bit too much of a safety net, I think, right now. Just I mean, obviously there's a lot going on back in the States, but
yeah.
I feel like we have to remind like the young life to like be young lives, you know.
It's so true, man. And you even talk about the stuff that we're talking about with this. It's taken a little bit, right? When people just focus on trying to get out of here with sports or whatever, it's taking a little bit of why you did it out of it, because you're just so focused on the end result. And the reality is like, if you're good, you're good, and and we'll figure out the rest of it, right? We'll get it figured out, because you don't have to, it's not rocket science. You just do your thing, work out, try to be good at your sport, but just have fun with it, because the reality is the talent is the talent, right? I mean, if you're good enough, it's not like the old, like, oh, they'll find you. They're not going to find you, but I'm gonna make sure they see you. So it's like, like, but the reality is like, yeah, I mean, just have fun with it. Like for him, especially, man, just have fun with it. Enjoy what this time is. And because like, say we all, I think, look back on our athletic experiences here as an enjoyable time, maybe not the concussion side of things for you, but beyond that is an enjoyable time, right? Growing up playing sports it's an amazing time. It's what we have here, like we're talking same thing. We're talking Chato about that. It's like growing up in the valley. It's like that's what I mean. I don't really. I mean, that's what I did. Is you played sports.
All we did was ask Chato like, what were your childhood experiences here, and he went on about football for like 10 minutes, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
it is the
Yeah,
big thing here.
that was sports. Like we played like travel basketball during baseball season. We were going from baseball game to basketball practice at night and then doing it all over. Like, and my mom was taking like me to my practices and Brandon to his. And then she was, Skylar and Brandon when she would never even miss like a practice unless she was at one of the other practices,
Yeah.
And you tell people that are not from the valley, like, the temperatures here in the summer, and you tell them we're doing 2-a-day practices in this.
Yeah.
Like, that's Navy SEAL training, man. I mean, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Not the best ideas, but yeah, it definitely turned us. It definitely made you stronger, man. It definitely made you stronger. No, bro. I think we're good, man. Dude, I really do appreciate you taking the time. I think, I'm excited to. Our goal right now is to start, like, this is our third. We're gonna try to knock out at least one more, and then this fool's supposed to be starting to learn how to edit to get this thing popping.
We'll get it done, baby.
And then our goal is to start posting by I would like to by the end of this month. Would be awesome to get that thing rolling, and then we'll start putting it out, because we're just gonna keep recording, keep growing the I just want to tell stories from necessarily here and beyond but this small town, because there's so many people. If you just look at this area, there's so many people that do amazing things that a lot of people don't know about. And you don't know about, like as a kid, like, I would have loved to have known like ideas of things that people are doing to really understand like what options are out there for me, like what are you looking at? Because I wanted to be a sports agent, that's like, I mean, that's Jerry Maguire. I mean, that's what drove me. I was like, that's what even through college, I was still, that was the goal. And you don't hear of a lot of opportunities down here. There's tons of people doing things here that are not known. And I think like this right here, like you said, you got one more dude from the valley that went out there. Like, see, it's a unique experience that definitely is going to shape the next part of your life. And it's cool to hear those stories about people taking a leap of faith and putting sacrificing things in their life to better themselves and doing that. So it's Yeah, I'm glad we did this, man.
Yeah,
I
likewise.
think
I love what you guys are doing. And one of you guys send me an address. I'll ship you a pair of kicks you can raffle off for your show. Like, so you for like your Instagram, just
you
in
were,
order to
yeah,
raffle, you gotta follow your
yeah,
channel and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Be our first
yeah.
sponsor, man.
You and that's something. Hey, so that means you we'll have to wait for you to have your thing going.
yeah.
That way we can collaborate on that to put it together and to expand it out there, bro.
We're like January 1.
I'm down with that. I'm down because that's the timing of this. By the time we get to posting this one, that'll probably be about right, man. Dude,
Yeah.
I appreciate this, man. I think and we will have another one of these because there's gonna be something in the next, I'm gonna guess 6 months to a year. You're gonna have more to this story as you start building this. And I think at our time we'll have more to what we've done too. And I think it'll be a great time to revisit that. And possibly, maybe one of the next, I don't know when you're ever coming to the Valley again, but if 6 months to a year, you're back out here, we'll have to do something right back there in person.
I'm in. I'm all the way in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll do,
And
we'll do something like that with the dope ass camera view and everything.
thinking of me to be on here, like I greatly appreciate that. That's extremely humbling.
No, man, it's
Absolutely,
I think
man.
it's gonna be awesome, man. So I'm we'll end it with that, man. I truly appreciate you taking the time, and I know I'm excited for the next stuff because this our whole thing's far from over with all this stuff that we're doing together, man. So it's gonna be exciting, brother.
Blast. You guys have made my morning. I'm good to go. I'm about to go hit this gym now and figure out the
There
rest
we
of my
go.
There you go, brother. All right, man. Well, you have a great, I think, weekend for you at this point in time. So enjoy, and we'll stay in touch, brother.
Sounds good. You guys have
All
a
right,
good
Randy.
one.
All right, Randy, brother.